Good morning, YouTube.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be one of those videos. What's up, you guys? We recently celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary. So we thought it'd be fun to share 5 things that we would either change or specifically keep the same about our wedding day, wedding process, all the things. And we both have our little list of things. We have not seen each other's lists, so we're gonna hear right now what we would have changed. Okay, I'm gonna start simple.
Wait, so 5 things about our wedding that we'd keep or we'd change, correct?
Welcome to the world. I'm still understanding what we're doing.
I'm here. Hello.
The first thing I would change, I'll keep it simple, was my hair and makeup.
Really?
Yeah. Because, and I feel like that's a big thing for a lot of girls, but we got married in 2017, and the trend back in those days was all the moody makeup, like dark lipstick, dark eyeshadows. Yeah, he's like, I thought you looked great.
What would you change though?
Well, makeup is one and hair was the other. I actually wore my backup hairstyle on our wedding day because of how humid it was. Even though we got married in October, it was still very humid here in North Georgia, and it rained actually right up until our ceremony, and they quickly wiped down all the seats because we got married outside. So I wore my hair back and up, and my naturally curly hair. I would have preferred it, I think, a little bit more like this, just kind of how I wore it for Sarah's wedding.
Was it curly?
It was.
Yeah.
It was my natural curl, but it was all pinned back in an updo, and
I liked it.
in a low bun. He likes my hair naturally curly.
That's my number one. I would not change anything about Brandy's hair or makeup. No.
I think my favorite hair and makeup style that I've ever had was our Christmas card picture from this past Christmas. It's the first time that I used that girl. Shout out Katie. I'll put her Instagram in the description. She also, I think, has naturally curly hair, so she knows how to work with naturally curly hair when you want to smooth it out and have very natural, smooth, effortless looking curls. Anyways, that's my number one is hair and makeup. All right, your turn.
Should I do something that I change or keep?
Whatever is the top of your list.
Okay, my number one thing to keep is the venue itself.
Okay.
We got married in North Georgia. It was on a farm. Or was it on a farm? I don't know if it was considered a farm.
The venue was called Mountain Laurel Farm. There were a couple donkeys and stuff. I don't think they grow crops there.
It's not like a working farm, but it was just so gorgeous. We love the North Georgia mountains, so that's one thing that I would keep.
And the venue was great. That's a good one because it also
Cue the pics.
We wanted to get married outside. It had the views for that. But also some of his groomsmen were coming in from out of state, and there was ample lodging on the venue grounds. So we actually all got to stay, the bridal party got to stay on the property the night before. So we did the rehearsal dinner there, and then we all just stayed there and had a great time all together for the night before the wedding. And then they had a groomsman cottage, and the main farmhouse was for the girls. And so it just made everything super easy. You didn't have to worry about somebody getting there on time the next day. We were all already there. That was a good one.
Yeah. All right, what's your number 2?
Okay. It's another change.
Really? Dang, are all yours going to be changes, or you got some keeps?
No, I think I have one keep.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of stuff I would keep, but I feel like it's more interesting what you change.
Well, that's true. What's your next change?
I would change the photography process.
Okay.
I would have been a little bit more involved. One of the bummers was that one of the bummers that we looked back on was that there were some people that we're really close with who are not in any of our professional wedding photos. I have a few aunts that were kind of taking care of some elderly people, their moms were there, and so they didn't really get a second to leave their mom's side to like come take family portraits with us. There's so much going on, and I would have been, if I could go back, I would have been a little bit more like in communication with the photographer to say like, I want these people in our wedding photos.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I remember too, like there was a little bit of not miscommunication, but like our photographer called me like a month before our wedding or something. And
A week before? That would be insane.
they called me a month before, and apparently, like, because we booked our photographer through our wedding venue, apparently our photographer did not know she was doing our wedding.
Yeah.
Like, we had booked her through our venue months ago, and then she was told, like, in August or September. And so she called me, like, she was like, you must be the chillest bride, because I haven't heard a peep from you. Like, I was like, I just thought I'd see you on wedding day. Like, I don't know, you know?
That's true, though. You are a chill bride, or were a chill bride, for sure.
Thank you. I tried to be. There was one thing I think I got a little bit bridezilla about.
Is that something that you'd change? Or is that on your list?
I don't.
Something you're bridezilla about, or no?
Kind of. I have one that's like a broad thing that encompasses a lot. But I'll just say it. The one thing I was a little bit bridezilla about was our bridesmaids dresses. I was like wanting all the bridesmaids to feel super comfortable because like they're all shapes and sizes and they all like different styles, different cuts. And so I was like letting them pick their own bridesmaid's dress, like completely free reign, just within a taupe-ish color palette. That's literally the only criteria I gave. And when we got some of the dresses back, they did not look like the same coloring that they looked online.
Yeah.
And so I basically made an executive decision to go back and say, okay, you can pick from dresses within like these 12. Like any style, this color of this dress line. So they unfortunately had to like go through the process of returning the first bridesmaid's dress that they bought and getting, but they still got to pick the one that they wanted out of like the ones I gave them, like out of the options.
And in the end, everybody looked good.
Oh yeah, everybody looked beautiful, and I think everybody felt good. It's just that was, I think, my bridezilla moment that I was like, actually, we're gonna undo all the work we just did. And you're gonna, like my maid of honor, actually, her dress was technically not refundable. But if you know my maid of honor, she is like a gung-ho, like she's gonna, if she's got a goal, she'll get after it. And she had a goal to get that dress refunded. And so I remember she like talked to the lady enough, I think, that they let her return it.
Mission complete.
Yeah, that's a good maid of honor right there.
Okay, number 2 for me.
Sorry, I wasn't looking.
Okay, my second one is going to be a change, and that we kind of already talked about it, but
sorry.
No, it's okay. It'd be to talk to more people.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I guess during like the reception, after is that what it's called? I can't remember.
Yes,
reception. I feel like there's just, it was so overwhelming with, I don't know, just excitement. You know, the fact that we just got married, but there were so many people. I guess I would just take the time to make sure to maybe talk to more people than I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to a lot of people, all friends and family, but I feel like some people kind of got, I don't know,
not
kind of lost in the mix.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we were to get married again or do it over, I would just probably, I don't know, maybe ground myself and just kind of like take it all in a little bit more.
That's a good one. I remember somebody had told us, like, given us that piece of advice prior to, like, just slow time down in your mind when you can throughout the day because it's going to fly by. And I was trying to do that, but it was still just very overwhelming, like, in a good way, but just...
Yeah.
I remember after we got married, we took pictures, we were finally, like, sitting down to eat, and the wedding coordinator like brought us our dinner plates and put them in front of us. And I just remember like not, yes.
Just like pushing it around the plate.
That's the detail. I remember pushing my mashed potatoes around and being like, we're married. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. And then later, when we, left the venue, got back to the hotel, before we went on a honeymoon. We pulled out the leftovers and we were just like, just basically stuffed our faces.
It was so good too.
Yeah.
Our wedding coordinator was bomb. She was like you could tell she had done this a lot. She was able to anticipate our needs before we knew what they would be. And she knew that we would not eat really while we were there and that we would later be starving. And that's exactly what happened.
All right, what you got? What's your number 3?
Oh, that's another change.
Apparently there's a lot to change.
It sounds like I hated our wedding day.
Right, what's another change? Go for
it. I would change my garter situation.
Really? That's a small change.
No, do you remember what happened though?
What, like prior to the wedding?
When we at the ceremony.
No.
Okay, well then I'm going to tell it for everybody. You included. So we had decided we were going to do the traditional, you remember?
Yeah.
We had decided we were going to do the traditional, like, I throw the flower bouquet and he flicks the garter, okay? Well, the morning of the wedding, we're getting married at 4 p.m. Morning of, I wake up and I'm like, I never bought a garter.
Great start.
So another missed detail about that morning was that we had no breakfast. Like I said, the whole bridal party had stayed the night and some of their significant others were there too.
Yeah.
We didn't have food. We had food for the ceremony, but not for just like casual. Like I said, ceremony's at 4, reception's not till later, and we didn't have any food to like tie us over. So me and my maid of honor hopped in the car and left the property to find the nearest Walmart, which was like 20 or 30 minutes away. We're in North Georgia, kind of like deep in the country. We go to Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and Walmart to get like breakfast for everybody, and we stop in Walmart. They had one garter left, and it was like, just a very basic, simple garter. I think there was like maybe a little blue ribbon on it for your something blue, and I just grabbed it because I was like, sure. And so when I was getting ready for the day and we were like all kind of, I think we had taken some pictures, like we were all together. We had already done first looks. We were getting in the lineup to go down the aisle. My bridesmaid and best friend, Stephanie, helped me put my garter on because I had a very long dress and I had heels on. And
then Brandon, my best man, helped me put my garter on.
And so, I was just like thinking like, okay, like now I've got everything on and we're good to go. I start walking down the aisle and I feel my garter start slipping off my thigh because it's just a simple one-size-fits-all garter from Walmart. And it's like stretchy, but like it's not cutting off my circulation by any means. I start internally panicking because I'm like, oh my gosh, people are gonna see the garter around my ankle while we're getting married. And we did not have a videographer or anything, like there weren't, cameras like videoing really. So
yeah, I think somebody was though. I think it was Eric.
My cousin had like one on a tripod.
Hey Eric, if you're watching this, I know you're subscribed.
My cousin had one on a tripod, but we didn't have somebody like zooming in or like following us. You know what I mean? It was a stationary video. So when we first, we walk down the aisle, everybody's seated, and our pastor is like, let's pray. And I'm like, okay, while everyone's eyes are closed, I'm going to fix this situation. And so Craig and I were holding hands, like he's across from me, and this boy would not let go of my hand. And also his hands were like so sweaty. He had a death grip on my hands. And I'm like trying, like everybody's eyes are closed, we're praying, and I'm like, give me my hand.
Well, I'm thinking like, oh no, she's about to run. I gotta hold on to her.
Finally, he lets one hand go, and I do have like a little bit of a slit in my dress, so I just kind of reached down and like yanked my garter up real quick, like high, while everyone's eyes were closed. They should have been. And then I like quickly held his hand again before the prayer was over. So I would have changed my garter situation. My advice to you if you're getting married is plan that out in advance, get you a garter that fits, and just don't even put it on until the reception. There's no point.
I feel like that's a good one. It's a good, like, small detail that somebody might want to write down on their notes. Sure.
Yeah. Anytime I've had a lot of girls ask me over the years, like, what would you change, or what piece of advice would you give if they were getting married? And that's the first thing that I tell them.
That's good.
Yeah. What's yours? Okay. What's your next one?
My number 3, and I feel like this is going to blow your mind. You probably never would have thought.
Is it change or keep?
It's a change.
Okay.
I would change. I would learn how to dance.
Wow.
I would have taken dance lessons for like our slow dance.
Yeah.
Our first dance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I remember, we were just kind of like swaying back and forth.
I had my hands around his neck and we just did the middle school dance sway.
Yeah, except we were closer. We weren't just like...
Yeah, it wasn't arm's length.
But yeah, I would have changed. I would have taken maybe just a couple dance lessons.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Okay, I just thought of a keep.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff I would keep, and there's not as many things as I would change, and that's why I'm going for the things I'd change. But I'll throw a keep in there.
Okay.
I would keep our wedding date because, because getting married in October means forever fall anniversaries.
Yeah.
Nice. So you get to do fall trips every year for your anniversary. And it's just, or you could go to the beach, do some tropical if that's your vibe. But I am a fall girl internally. So being able to have an excuse to go to Vermont or go to Maine or whatever in October. Oh my gosh. And we've had some really awesome anniversaries from that.
Yeah.
We just shout out to our Vermont video. But that vlog is up if you want to go watch it. But even before, long before we started this channel, I think our 3-year anniversary we went to a place called Half Mile Farm. That one was drivable from where we are, but it was beautiful and the fall foliage was amazing. I feel like my vibe is very much fall mountain colors in a cabin with a little bit of elegance.
We even stayed at our wedding venue for one of our anniversaries.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That was our first year anniversary.
Because it came with our package, with our wedding package. It included a 1-year anniversary free stay. Because like I said, they had different housing units. They had a cottage and a house and on the property, and she made us brunch. And
I think we stayed on the groomsmen. Did we stay at the groomsmen?
We stayed at the groomsmen cottage on our first 1 year. I had forgotten about that. So yeah, get married in fall. All right, is this your last one?
No,
or your fourth one?
I've got 2 more.
Okay.
It's a change. This is a really silly one, but the fourth one is just
let's hear it.
It's a change. It was at the rehearsal dinner. I would eat more food. Because our rehearsal dinner food was so good. It
was really good. Both rehearsal dinner and our wedding day reception dinner food. They were 2 different styles, but they were so good.
I just remember we had Italian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
Rehearsal dinner was pasta night, and they had different kind of pastas. And then, what was our wedding day dinner? Our reception dinner? I think it was
don't even remember. I was so overwhelmed.
I don't remember the name of the caterer, the restaurant that did it. But it was basically Southern soul food, good
chicken.
Yeah, it was chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, but it was done really beautifully and well. But I remember my bosses at my wedding told me that they loved the food.
Yeah.
We got several compliments on the food. But so yeah, eating more of it.
Who doesn't love food?
Okay, I guess this is my last one, and it's also a change.
You've had so many changes. I've got one more and it's a keep.
Craig's would you do anything the same? Like I said though, I would keep most things the same. I'm just picking out the stuff I would change. I would change I would make some tweaks on the decor. Because I feel like I went a little too hard on what was trending at the moment. And if I could go back, I'd do things that were a little bit more timeless. There's a lot of black chalkboard signs, which is very 2017. I think our save the date kind of had that rustic, black chalkboard vibe, and that's honestly farmhouse is not my style anymore. It was so my style in 2017. So I don't know, and I think I put the bridesmaids in a different color. They all looked beautiful, but it was a very neutral themed wedding. I think I would go I'd add some color in there. I don't know, maybe do some things that were a little bit more classic and timeless and less like rustic, trendy. You guys know what I'm talking about, like the Pinterest boards. Like I feel like in 2016, 17, if you if you searched wedding ideas on Pinterest, everything that was at our wedding like popped up. Mm-hmm. But some of the things I liked about our venue, it could have swung either way. It very much fit the rustic vibe. But if we wanted to like elegant it up a little bit more, like they had like the chandeliers hanging from inside the barn and like that whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just make some tweaks. All right, what's your last one?
My last one is a keep, and the keep is our first look.
Oh my gosh.
I just feel like it was good. Like we hadn't seen each other all day. And like right before, the ceremony was about to happen, like 10, 15 minutes prior to the ceremony?
I think it was probably like an hour or two.
An hour. We got a chance to see each other for the first time, so it was kind of like, I don't know, I was super nervous. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure everybody's nervous when they get married, but I feel like it kind of grounded me a little bit, made me a little less nervous.
Yes.
So
you're going to make me cry.
No, don't cry. I would definitely keep that and would recommend doing that if you're a little nervous. Just have the opportunity just to see your future spouse real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. You've had some good ones. Because I do remember when we first got engaged, I just kind of thought we'd see each other down the aisle because that was tradition. I didn't really think anything differently. But then when we started planning the day of, I was like, you know what? Actually, I do want to do a first look because it just gives you a moment with your forever person before all eyes are on you. And you're right. I remember like we hadn't seen each other all day, like all morning. Your forever person is like the one that can ground you the best and the quickest and the easiest and the most. It's just like you see them and it's just like, oh, like relief.
Yeah.
I remember about that moment, we immediately both of us started crying. Like as soon as you turned around, I think I was already crying. You turned around and you were crying. And all my bridesmaids were watching through the windows.
Oh, yeah.
I think some of them were crying at your reaction.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. But a funny story about that is my wedding photographer, she was like, I got you, girl. Don't worry. Like, we're not going to have any ugly crying photos. Like, if you're ugly crying, like, I'll either edit around it or we'll include different photos. Like, we'll get some, we'll fix that or whatever.
Yeah.
And most of the first look photos are of Craig and they're of my like back. Yeah. And I think it's because I was Kim K ugly crying.
Really? I remember you crying that hard.
I was just so like overwhelmed with emotions. Also, I think either right before that or right after that, my other cousin who I'm super close with, Jamie, she had come and found me before the ceremony to give me like our great grandma's hanky for something borrowed that was given to her for her wedding. And I didn't even know that was in our family. Like that was a total surprise to me. And oh my gosh, she and I were boohooing. Well, there was a lot of crying before our ceremony even happened. I just felt like I was touching up makeup all day.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, like in the groomsmen cottage, I think we were playing some dumb game with a ball.
Well, then also like my maid of honor, Kelsey, she volunteered to pray for all of us girls. My mom was there like before things got too like going, before we started doing all the pictures and before the day kind of started getting away from us. We all got in a circle and held hands and she prayed for everybody. Oh my gosh, the whole circle was just sniffling. We were all just crying because it's just the accumulation of like all these feelings. Everyone that you love and loves you back is there, and they're there for you to celebrate you and your forever person. And it's just so special.
Yeah.
I'd keep that. I'd keep him.
Same. But what about you guys? Put it in the comments. What would you change or keep about your wedding if you're subscribed? But yeah, that's all I have.
yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more like this, or if you have any like wedding questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thumbs up it.
Oh yeah, like, subscribe, all the things.
See ya.
See you guys in the next video.